Hey folks, I'm late today. Isn't that overdramatic? Walter was busy with a big task at the shipping firm. Unexpectedly, his sister arrived too. Well, it's her 42nd birthday. She brought a tangerine cake mermaid. After she left, Walter learned from a colleague that their magazine company got bought out. After they published the last print issue, they are going online. How modern of them. Walter seemed calm externally, but felt like he'd plunged into ice water. Knowing online shift could make his film developing skills obsolete. This means he could be fired anytime, walking into the lab with a guilty look. A colleague told Walter that the star photographer Sean sent over the film for the last magazine issue this morning, along with a special. Walter opened the package and found a postcard thanking her for her developing work. It's always nice to get a little appreciation, right? It's truly rare to find someone who hasn't slipped up in 16 years. The letter went on to laud the current batch of film. He claimed Short-25 was his best work yet and insisted that they use it as the cover for the last issue. He hoped Walter would make it shine, and to top it off, there was a wallet wrapped in parchment paper with the company name engraved on it. Walter had endured such toxic a quarter at Grove for 16ers, just rolling his eyes. Just then, a colleague delivered bad news. All the film from Sean was sorted, except for the ridiculously important Short-25. Before they could figure out where the film went, another colleague dashed in like a superhero. He notified Walter about a meeting for the last magazine issue, telling her to bring Short-25 immediately. Walter felt dizzy and urged colleagues to keep the missing film secret. Shell stall, and at the meeting, the interim manager raised Sean's proposal publicly. The manager said the company agreed to use Short-25 as the cover and asked Walter to present it. But Walter had nothing to show, so she pretended to be calm and said the film was still being developed and the manager had to back off for now. Little did she know that losing Short-25 would change her life, as the girl she had a crush on worked in the mailroom. Walter gathered some courage and asked if she could help find Sean's mailing address. Cheryl agreed without hesitation and said she'd check when she got back. Since Sean was always off snapping pictures around the globe, she couldn't guarantee he'd be at the same spot either. Just then, a colleague suggested they might find clues from the neighbouring film of Short-25, perhaps even Sean's shooting location. Walter quickly developed a few neighbouring shots, but was still left scratching her head. At that moment, Cheryl found him and mentioned that Sean's film uses international shipping lines, making it impossible to pinpoint his exact location. However, she heard that Sean redeemed a check this morning, and if Walter needed help, she could ask her friends in finance. Walter gladly accepted the offer and decided it was time to come clean about the missing film. She showed Cheryl the neighbouring shots, hoping to find a lifeline somewhere in the confusion. The first shot, a stranger's thumb. Walter was sure it's not Sean's. Authenticity? No clue. The second shot was of a water surface again. Nothing distinctive to reference. The third shot was even more bizarre, completely unidentifiable. Truly a brain teaser. Faced with this collection of oddball photos, Cheryl could only shake her head and decided it was better to check with her finance buddies. Subtitles. Just at this moment, Walter's phone suddenly rang. It turned out to be his sister calling him again. She brought a birthday gift of a Tonka superhero, Walter's childhood favorite toy. After messing around with her sister, Walter returned to the office to find a colleague who said they blew up one of the photos and found text. Walter speculated it might be the name of a ship. She needed someone to help confirm, so she told her colleague to go back and see if there were any other leads. Just then, the interim manager walked into the elevator and immediately wanted Short-25 from Walter. Walter had no choice but to come up with another excuse to stall, but the manager was clearly losing his patience, scolding Walter to focus on work, not toys. As he spoke, he tried to snatch the Tonka superhero from Walter, and she lost it, giving the manager a surprise knock. The manager didn't back down. They fought in the elevator, causing a commotion. They burst out of the building, launching into a superhero showdown. Yes, Walter was daydreaming again. The manager's aggressive behavior added to her pressure, and she couldn't help but fantasize about giving him a beating. Walter's sudden spacing out made the manager chuckle, and as he left, He reminded her not to forget about the photos. Walter shared with Cheryl about discovering the ship's name in the photo, and she pulled out her phone to research it. Unfortunately, the internet was as slow as molasses. Then she remembered she had to pick up her kid from the park and invited Walter along. Together, they walked side by side through the bustling streets, and their relationship began to bloom. Compared to shy Walter, Cheryl was cheerful and outgoing, taking the lead in most conversations. Walter found out that Cheryl had been a single mom since her divorce, and she worried about losing her job due to the company buyout. Just as they arrived at the park, Cheryl got a call, and Walter kept the kid entertained nearby.